Hey gang, so today we're looking at something sent over by Meta EDC, and I've got to say it is the weirdest fidget I have seen yet. It's the Beetle 3.0 by One Studio in full Zerk. You can get it from Meta EDC for $169.95, and if you use the code FidgetFix, you get 10% off. So when I say Beetle, I mean Beetle. This thing is weird. I mean, it was kind of fun, but weird. Let's get this under the camera and have a look at one of the coolest looking fidgets I've ever come across. It's the Beetle 3.0. Let's go. Okay, here we go with the Beetle. This is a weird one, but it's weird in a fun way. Very, very different. I do enjoy when things are designed differently. They're kind of unique. This is absolutely one of those things. So let's break it down. Playability. Now, you're only doing one thing with this, and that is we are clicking these 3 different strips of the shell. There is a very, very pointed edge here and kind of a bottle cap opener, right? This can act as a bottle opener, but let's be honest, nobody is using their Zerk fidget as a bottle opener, or at least nobody I know, because that is the most expensive bottle opener that you could ever get. I would much rather have a $5 bottle opener that I really don't care about versus something like this that is pure Zerk that I'm gonna scratch and ruin up. I'm not doing that. I'm not using this at all. It's the same with, I love the idea of pry bar fidgets, but guys, again, I'm not using my Zerk pry bar to pry something open. Like, definitely not. It's not even gonna come close to happening. So while it's there and it's a fun idea, I don't think I would ever actually use it for that. But this is fun. Okay, sound. Well, the sound on this is kind of a muted click. And that's really all you get out of it. It's not a great sound. It's not going to blow anybody away. It's just, the sound is not a feature, I'll say. The sound in this case is 100% just a result of being able to move these things up and down, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes the sound is its own character, its own personality. That is not this. Although there is a bit of a ping. But I don't think it's an intentional ping. Okay, haptics. Well, again, this is a very soft fidget. And by soft, I just mean everything about it is kind of muted. Like, the haptics are there too, but they're not strong haptics. You're not getting a really big click feel that runs through your hand as these little plates kind of crack down. It is there though. You still do get feedback. It's just not strong feedback. Ergonomics. Well, I mean, listen, this is not really built to be anything but a crazy looking fidget. So your ergonomics are interesting. When you're holding this, there's an absolute design purpose here for your thumb. So while we have kind of this worry stone effect happening, I don't think it's a great worry stone, because your thumb just kind of, it's not smooth, right? You've got all these little edges to dig into, but then this side is completely flat. So it's a little strange. Like, this would have been kind of neat if this was rounded as well. Then you'd have a nicer kind of a pebble feeling in it. There is kind of a natural spot on the bottle opener to put your finger here, which is interesting, but you've got these little prongs that dig into the top of your finger. So I wouldn't necessarily use that because it doesn't feel super comfortable. I mean, it's there. And I find myself doing that every once in a while, just kind of holding it like this, but it's not a real natural feeling. Just again, because these little pointed edges here. Overall, though, I'd say it's a great size. It's a very is it pocketable? It's a little big to pocket, and you can see how this actually bites you sometimes. So I don't know if it's a great pocket fidget, but it's a fun fidget to handle. There's a ton for your fingers to kind of find as you're holding it when you're not looking at it. A lot of times we fidget without looking. This is a very interesting one to run your fingers over. So I do give it points for that. Okay, let's look at the weight. Now, in grams, 81.5 grams. This is a lot of Zerk. This is a huge chunk of Zerk, actually. So again, yeah, 81.5 grams or almost 3 ounces. So even though it's made of Zerk, this has a really, really good weight to it. It doesn't feel like it's going to fly out of your hand, but it's also not too heavy. And then size-wise, let's just look at this. So make sure we're zeroed out here. So in inches, length is 2.5 inches in length, or that's 63 millimeters. And width, we'll go back into millimeters. We've got 35 millimeters. And 1.3 inches, we'll say. You know, it's kind of around there. So it's a bigger one, but a lot of the extra length comes from the little pinchers at the top, which you don't really use. Okay, internals. This is where we get into the magic of how this works. Now, I will also point out there are slots for trit tubes, and we have a lanyard space here as well. This would be kind of interesting on a lanyard. I don't know that you actually need it because there's not much you have to do to manipulate to use it. I find a lanyard is good if you have to get low on something and there's no real way to grip it, then you can kind of, you know, you got a rope through here, you hold onto it with your fingers, and you've got this little, you know, it's like extra leverage. You know what? Let's see. I've got a little piece of lanyard rope here. Let me see if this would actually do anything. I mean, I guess, you know, it does it help? I don't know. Again, I don't think I need it. So let's look at the inside though. The inside is very, very simple. Just pop these off. These are really just held in place by magnets. That's it. We have this little spine, and each of these pieces sits on a rocker and goes back and forth between these two magnets. That's really it. And that's all we're doing. So it just rocks back and forth. Very simple. But sometimes simple is good. Sometimes that's all you want, is just something that clicks. So I've seen sort of these types of fidgets where they're like piano keys and stuff. This, same idea, right? You can kind of run your finger up and down individually or click them all at once. Okay, so final thoughts. I think this is a really fun little fidget. This is going to appeal to a very specific crowd, though. People who want unique fidgets. There are people that just want fancy sliders, fancy spinners. You know, they have a very particular set to their collection. There are other people that just get drawn to different things. This is absolutely for those people. This is a very different, very unique fidget. It's a clicker, magnetic. But it's also kind of neat to look at, and there's a series. There's a series of 3 of these, and they all kind of do different things. So if you are interested in this, it's $169.95 on Meta EDC, and if you use the code FidgetFix, you get 10% off. Okay, gang, thanks for watching.